now. The changes came into play, and you know, he's got a chance to use what he has described in the past as his favorite champion. You know, I think I remember seeing a couple of weeks ago, he said the changes mean I now get to use my favorite champ. If I'm wrong there, sorry, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on Twitter, so I'm going to just dedicate to it. And
therefore, it's now fact.
And therefore, it's now fact. It's now fact. You heard it here first. If it wasn't already the truth, I made the new truth. But I know he likes the champion a lot at the very least. But yeah, I'm just keeping my eye on it nice and close. But results-wise, let's do predictions. How do we realistically think this is going to go?
Obviously, the safe bet to go for is to say that dahang is going to win this and that he'll be able to come in fairly strongly, and it should be a 3-0, right? With the idea of it being a 2-1, potentially, if cha1n comes in all guns blazing. But you know what? I don't like going for the safe play. I like going for something a little bit outrageous. I'm going to go for my boy cha1n. I feel like he's been looking better and better. He looks damn good, and I'm not only talking about him in-game. I want to see him absolutely wreck face tonight, and I feel like this is actually going to be a 2-1 victory to cha1n. That's my prediction for you.
I think 2-1, but I think dahang's got the edge. I think, you know, we just go by how the shape currently looks in dahang. There has never been a point in Quake Champions where dahang has not looked top level.
Oh, yeah.
Like, as the moment this game began, there was a time where dahang was almost like doing a little bit better than Rafa. You know, the very, very, very beginning, before that, you know, while their attentions were split, I think we could say, because they were just Quake players at the time. Dahang was actually kind of like having somewhat of an edge. It was kind of bizarre, really. And yeah, as we've now evolved, obviously dahang has just maintained this level of excellence. But we're kicking things off now. Almost a minute in already. The immediate rail's going to land. And a cha1n, I mean, he's been very intelligently keeping dahang away from the rail. He's been trying to get a little bit of push there. Catches him jumping down, misses the rail, which is actually good news for dahang. Not going to super prioritize the rail just yet. He's going to try and beat him towards the mega. And now, yeah, he kind of has to dedicate now. Get some entry damage and retreat if he can. And cha1n doesn't want to mess with it. Dahang's very, very weak though. Oh, watch out! Oh, the rail! And expecting him to go forward. I love that technique from dahang. Wow. I know he ultimately fell, but that one decision to like super like strafe jump around the corner and then just stop at his tracks, knowing cha1n's gonna like completely go around the corner and chase him, almost worked out. That would have been a good play.
Oh, all right. cha1n's actually looking pretty smooth right now, though. The aim's been damn crisp already. The prediction rocket's barely going to miss.
Oh, how
cha1n, you naughty boy.
What an angle to hit. However, he's very weak himself. And there's the instant boost there, thanks to the grappling hook. Instant boost of speed. Thank you very much. And the armor to boot. He's got somewhat of an advantage now. 2 lights. You very rarely see 2 lights go head-to-head.
Yeah. Oh, the pop of the LG coming out. dahang. Very smooth utilization already, just showing what exactly you can get benefits-wise if you use your Ghost Walk at the correct timings. This actually does give cha1n an opportunity to start to rebuild up his stack, though. dahang hoping to do the same. A bare miss on the rail. Oh, but you give dahang an inch, and he is going to slap you in the face with a rocket, as the saying goes.
And now cha1n, he knows that he's all the way near Mega, so he can take a little bit of that extra time. Maybe resemble something of a delay, even though I think unknowing to cha1n, the heavy was also delayed. So there's not going to be much of a gap there at all. And he just gets all that information. dahang, oh, that flick to the rocket. I know that it didn't hit its mark, but there's some really impressive little flicks that cha1n is going for. They actually don't really see that often. dahang, by all accounts, could die here if the rail misses, but it doesn't. dahang swaps to the LG and finishes the job, making it a 1-1. And yeah, cha1n, the idea was there, but dahang just played the fight just a little bit better.
Oh, the jump up, the spam down with the LG, rinsing his way through cha1n. Now this is worrying. You've already given dahang the first frag there off the back of the reset. Now he's got the second, and that was actually quite close to him being able to pick it up and really rip you apart to get close to a third as well if that railgun shot would have landed. So this is where it gets a bit worrying. We need to see the trade come back in from cha1n fairly early on. He is getting the tag off onto dahang to at least make him a little bit more supple.
Down to another position where both players can definitely hear where they are. And in this instance, cha1n, he's been quite greedy and kind of sitting tight on these major pickups, trying to deny them. But for this one instance, I think these fights have gone skew-if one too many times, and he's going to concede, just like now, giving up quite a level of control, actually. I think he needs to try and re-establish, get some stack back. A lot of confidence in his rail he's going to have to put in if he wants to get some of that entry damage. dahang looking way more stacked pretty much the entire game so far. But it is only a 2-1 difference. There's plenty of time to make something happen too, Jackie.
Oh yeah, you don't have to rush anything here. Brilliance will come at its own pace, and this could be the pace that it chooses to attack from. The aggression coming through, an offensive use of the Ghost Walk this time around from dahang. Not going for the passive play. Nice tag from the LG when he was close by. Does burn off a little bit more of the stack from cha1n. Almost connecting the rail as he dips himself down, falling down. Now progressing as fast as he can, utilizing that movement. He's close by, he knows exactly where he is. He was low on the stack, and he's going to try and finish him off right here, right now. Whips out the shotgun, but it isn't the connection. He's still alive. Somehow he is still alive.
Now, I think that might be borrowed time, though, because dahang's on the chase, and he's looking to finish the job here. Has the rail out, looking for an angle. cha1n, by no accounts, is making it easy. I really like the mobility, and it's the use of the Athena hook, right? It's the fact that she can be where she wants, when she wants. It's so good on a map like this, and it's kind of hard for dahang to keep a lid on it. That said, still maintaining a lead. Here comes that 5-minute warning, and it is only 2-1 remains. Plenty of time to make something happen still, but dahang, it kind of looks like he's been in full control this entire time. How did he hit that rail? That was a flick and a half down there. Nice and vertical, too. Good shot, keeping cha1n behind. And that's going to be the objective, right? It's not always going to be getting a frag. It's just keep cha1n on the back foot. Keep him uncomfortable.
The more you can make it awkward for your opponent here and consistently starve them of pickups as well as what we've seen. I mean, dahang's had the Mega basically every time it's come up. It's been so awkward for cha1n to actually get over there and get any type of map control. Again, dahang with the pickups. Instantly, he's able to grab himself the armor. No problems. There's no even contest for it. This could actually be the first time we see the Mega conceded over to cha1n. Although, dahang's in a pretty good power play position to not only potentially get a frag here, but also get away with another Mega.
And I feel like a huge part of this also came down to the fact that there was a very, what I will call a deliberate delay. There was enough time that dahang could sufficiently grab the heavy and then instantly bolt it towards the Mega and maintain his level of control over this course of the map. I think cha1n hasn't been necessarily playing from behind the entire time, but I think dahang looks more comfortable. You know, cha1n's kind of looking for that magic moment to land that one rail that allows him to press. And dahang's kind of content just chilling and maintaining his level of play. And hang on a minute, stuck in the air. And what a play, going down with the hook, obviously to adjust the air trajectory, which is really important and something that really only she can do with the exception of Ranger and the Dire Orb. But that's just the cheeky play, right? But this rail has other ideas. dahang looking to get out. We don't need to press, we don't need to overextend, we need to keep our lead, and we'll be happy.
This just goes to show as well how defensive you can actually play and how passive you can be, not overly extending, just playing for the timing, knowing that you have the advantage. dahang is so smart in the scenario of how he's actually been approaching the game right now. They do get to the 7-minute mark. cha1n, he's going to have to start to put the pedal to the metal soon and actually go for more of an aggressive play. He starts to charge himself in. Big damage done. Unfortunately, even bigger damage has been slammed back in his face. He will fall down once again and concede another frag to the way of dahang, making it a 3-1 scoreline now, so things are starting to get a little bit worrying.
There's just something about the way dahang deals damage that seems incredibly efficient.
That was smooth, though.
And it's always been that way. Whenever you watch dahang play, like whenever there's a fight, you know, back in 2v2, he was like the dedicated damage dealer. I know Rafa was in many, you know, every way really the shot caller, and dahang was super good at listening to instructions and having his own ideas. But he was, make no mistake, the source of damage, and he would always be a top performer in any 2v2 they'd play in. You know, he was no stranger of getting those 30 bombs on a regular basis because his combat skills are just ridiculous in almost every single conceivable way. And you look at these fights they're having now in Duel, where dahang, he's making these really great decisions and he's very comfortable and he's really comfortable playing this game of control. But when the time comes to fight, you know, to hit that rail, to hit that rocket, he never misses them, you know. And when he does, it's not punishing, it's not pivotal. He just seems to have the right weapon out, he's got the right shots lined up. It looks hard for cha1n to come back from this. You know, he's definitely playing from behind now, make no mistake.
Yeah, the deficit's getting way too big at this point. And obviously the way dahang's playing it as well is he isn't really giving cha1n an opportunity to actually go on the offensive. It's more just only when he actually wants to take the battle to him. At this point he's trying to look to do a little bit of damage. The death from above potentially. Once again, that's another Mega being taken as they are all for dahang. He does not want any Megas going in the way of cha1n.
Now we're reaching a dangerous territory. I mean, the rockets are gone, but at this stage it doesn't really matter. You know, we're looking at just how far ahead dahang is and the kind of weapons he's got for the job. It's not really a rocket situation now, it's rail. And obviously he has the tri-bolt just to get a little bit of spam through. 1 minute warning is about to tick off. And he's finally able to get a little bit of it back. Oh, here comes the play. keeping the speed up, so he's going to not only get a bunch of damage and once more force cha1n away, but he's able to steal the Mega at the same time. And cha1n hasn't been in control for 9 minutes and 15 seconds. This has been dahang's map, without question.
Yeah, it really has just been fairly one-sided overall. Although there was quite a long period of a slow stalemate in terms of the overall actual kills we had with just a 1-kill lead for dahang, he was still very smart in the way he approached that, realizing he didn't actually have to overcommit or run the risk of potentially losing any firefights, which is why it only stayed at 1-kill lead for so long. Again, cha1n, he's not allowed the Mega. dahang's going to get it another time after killing him. Oh, this is just savagery now. He's just toying with him.
Well, 10 seconds on the clock and a map that is 100% done and dusted. dahang's going to take it 1-0 over cha1n so far, and it kind of just opens up for how the rest of things might actually go. That was Blood Covenant and its Ruins of Sarnath next. We're going to get the treat, and the champion that many people have been waiting for is dahang's Strog. We'll see how it goes. Ultimately, that was a great result, and I feel like that was just dahang through and through. At no point did cha1n look like he was in control of anything. He wasn't in control of the fights. He wasn't in control of the map.
Yeah.
Every time he tried to take a Mega, dahang was there. The only reason cha1n would take a Mega is because dahang wants you to take the Mega, and then he'll kill you. Like, at no point there, I think, did cha1n ever get the one-up. And had a hard time, for lack of a better term. I mean, there's not really much to break down there, apart from just, it was a hard time from start to finish.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, that's the thing. Maybe like the first 2 minutes could have been a little bit different if things had gone slightly better for cha1n. Although that's about it. Other than that, it's the fact that dahang was just really in command pretty much the entire time. That was absolutely sickening, though. So that was a really nice shot.
Yeah, I mean, cha1n wasn't short of these great moments and these moments of understanding, hey, he's doing this crazy decision, and it's the kind of bold plays that cha1n is famous for. But I think it's just something that dahang, there's no question that these guys obviously would have scrimmed a fair amount. I don't know how much, personally, they scrim now. Obviously, now Quake Pro League is in full swing. Maybe people don't really scrim everybody. However, when these guys, they've played a lot. I know this isn't the first time they've ever encountered each other, right?
Yeah.
So even if there is this high octane and brave style that might catch people out on LAN, I know cha1n had a very respectable performance at QuakeCon, made it onto the stage day with the finals. So we did sort of see him play some of those prize matches that were taking place. And he's clearly a player that has a lot of promise. It's just, I think against dahang's really good at playing against you if he knows your style. Like if you have a style that maybe he hasn't encountered in a while, or something that kind of goes a little bit against what he's used to, maybe you've got a good chance. But dahang is very similar to a Rafa, that if he's played you before, it's going to become increasingly harder for you to beat him because nothing will really surprise him. Even if you've got this unpredictable style, he will predict unpredictability. I know that's kind of almost a bit of an oxymoron, but I'm sure you know where I'm kind of going with that, that if he's familiar with how you approach the game, it's kind of hard to get that one up when he knows you're going to try and get the one up in whatever way, shape or form. Yeah,
he understands your playstyle quite well and can just dissect it, basically. I get what you mean. It's not surprising, because you can see that translated in the way he approaches the game, but it's weird. It's just that kind of very classic sort of old school era of how they approach the game. It's very, very standardized. It's set to such a deadpan pace where it's like, right, look, they literally just have command of everything. But there's another opportunity here. Map 2. Let's see if potentially cha1n can really step up and if the new blood can do some damage, or if it is going to be dahang hanging his way on.
Well, dahang has gone in with the Strog, as we saw in the rotation. I'm personally really excited to see this because, I mean, I'm a bit of a dahang fanboy anyway, and I think Strog is a huge part of that. It was clutch before, but now, old and busted, new hotness, and immediate rail. The problem is actually that there's already damage being done. There's no wonder cha1n had an escape route planned before he landed the rail. But what can we get off it? There's already some element of totem pressure established down near the heavy. cha1n is setting up shop. He obviously heard the Mega, so there's going to be a bit of a rotation commencing here. Not a lot has happened so far in terms of combat, but we're starting to collect throughout the course of the map. Both players starting to stack up, but cha1n, thing is, he's only got an LG and a rail. That's soon to change, but he's having to be very careful about what kind of weapons he uses, because he's just about to get rocket launcher. But now he's caught away by the rail to begin with. And cha1n forces his way back into heavy. Knows he set up shop, so he's in a good position. And he's super stacked as well. A little bit of LG damage, but needs plenty more where that came from. Here comes the Pika, just for bonus damage, if anything. And I think we're probably going to see that a lot from dahang. Now the fight is going to break out. We're going to see who's going to come off better, but both players opting for now to disengage, and the totems are being handled as well. Completely gone, and the setup that Galena once had has been swiftly deleted.
That's the efficiency as well of dahang. He's not going to let you keep your totems up for any longer than he absolutely has to, right? He's going to hunt them down, he'll find any nook and cranny, and he will evict them forcibly. That's what he's all about. And at this point, cha1n, he's left a little bit hung out to dry. He is going to be able to get one of those totems back up in around 3 seconds now, so it's not all doom and gloom, but it at least puts the pressure on him a little bit more, as he'll want to try and, once again, find some little hiding spots to distribute those bad boys.
I think it's an awkward position too, where, you know, fundamentally you're playing a champion that needs to set up consistently, but dahang, being, you know, a scientist of a player, he is the kind of player that will constantly look out for those small details. If he knows he's up against a champion that has stuff to look out for on the map that you have to take down, like no exceptions, dahang's the kind of player you would bet money on that won't allow totems to just exist. You know, we saw players like Garpy earlier today allow the momentum to shift because, you know, they're hello, ambushed, and the rail. Hang on a minute, before I can even talk about how dahang has all bases covered, gets completely startled in a game of hide and seek.
That was actually really nice. It's a shame it didn't go better for him in the way it was executed. Even the follow-up as well, it looked like the flick-up rail was going to be the final killing blow towards the overall puzzle that he was providing us with. At this point, though, we're 3 minutes in. There hasn't been a single frag just yet, although there has been some close calls. Once again, he's going to go for the same positional placement there of the totem. It was spotted out last time, but he's going to gamble and hope that it works better for himself this time.
Definitely much more of a slower change of pace here. Both players. I love the patience of dahang, actually. You know, he knows he's going up against cha1n. cha1n's use here of Galena, and it's I think actually how ready they both are for everything. That's one of the reasons I think they're being so crazy slow paced here. Is dahang knows he has to watch out for totems. cha1n has to be careful around a corner because at any moment there could be a Pika, and if Pika does entry damage, then it's a wonderful fight. dahang stuck in a terrible position, forced in one of the hardest places I think in the entire game to survive, getting caught down there. Not a whole lot you can do to get out. Even with the crouch slide, I don't think dahang was getting out of that one. Ooh.
Wow, okay. Well, that was nearly a way to kick it off with a little bit of excitement.
Oh! I kind of almost wonder how that happened. cha1n has been so careful the entire time and gave himself away too many rail angles. Just kind of out in the open, and dahang hit every shot he needed. And just like that, the flip of momentum might have taken place. What a weird way to give up a lead.
Yeah, conceding it, bringing it back, and at this point into the 1-1. He still has one of his totems available. The other one was found out, of course, as it was struck. Basically, it's a little protection play. Is he going to clear the angle? dahang, yep, spots it out. Nice stuff, as he will be able to take down another one of them, and now goes in for the all-out aggression.
Speed.
Oh, the Pika!
Oh, that was such a perfect combo. And this is why dahang is the strong. Like, these combos that it feels like only he is doing right now. Absolutely ridiculous stuff.
He is ahead of the curve when it comes down to it.
He innovates, and that's always what he's been known for. Is this was a champion that almost everyone wrote off when the champion first came out, you know, many moons ago at this stage. And dahang was the one that believed in it and really thought there was some untapped potential. And, you know, history speaks for itself in that regard. And even in duel, you know, we can see the new layer that Strog brings.
Ooh, especially with the smooth moves like that. He's going to be able to glide his way in and butt heads versus cha1n. Gets the damage off and does force him back, conceding control, meaning he's going to walk away with that armor as he looks for a little bit more as well. Spotting him out, fires off the warning round. No connection just yet. He does have the Pika to play with as well, and he's got the high ground here.
But what dahang has been able to do is create a lead. And that kind of allows the natural change of pace. And we are immediately in a position where he doesn't need to take a lot of risks. You know, there's not a lot riding on, hey, I could go and push here and get a frag. And now he's in a position where, well, hey, I've got 2 frags ahead. So if there's a decision that even has a risk that cha1n can come back, don't need to take it anymore. Here comes Pika, full speed. And how does he hit the kamikaze with such precision? This is madness. It just feels insane to me how Pika, being as hard to control as it is, he is still able to just traverse a map with... I mean, there were some pretty tricky, you know, twists and tunnels. He's still able to kind of not collide into a single thing. And he's going full speed too. Just, yeah, very, very good stuff. And you can tell why He's extensively put a lot of time into learning this champion now, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, it pays off, though. He's got such smooth moves with it, there's nothing really much that they can actually do to defend themselves when you just get slapped in the face by that big boy drone. Oh, cha1n getting knocked up once again. dahang looking to give himself a 5th kill, which he will claim oh so happily.
And the health vial that it's dropped is so similar to just a small health bubble. cha1n has been unable to establish any presence. Back-to-back rails, not even zoomed in. What is up with dahang's rails being so good when he doesn't even have to zoom in the first place? Should be another frag. Taking a little bit longer than perhaps he wants to for the purpose of having health, but that said, it's still going to be a 7-1. And oh my word, it's starting to escape cha1n a little bit. I didn't expect it to be this one-sided, I will admit. It just feels like a pretty common occurrence. It's nice and back and forth for a bit, and then the moment dahang starts to slip away, cha1n just can't get that one next level decision or read on him that you need to do while out of control. You know, getting a read or a decision to take control back is hard when someone like dahang is playing as well as they are. But cha1n has completely struggled to do that the entire time. On both of these maps, in fact. Here comes the Pika! And that's still going to be some damage all the same. Also, importantly, getting some of the LG ammo out of cha1n at the same time, forcing him to swap away if he needs to. A trade. And that trade's only ever going to favor dahang this late in the game.
That's so rough. Again, it's just adding to his total tally. You leave it at an 8-2 now. At this point, you've only got 2 minutes left as well. So if cha1n is going to come in and be able to really make his mark on the map, it needs to be about a minute ago. So it's quite rough for him, really, in the way this one has been developing.
Oh.
Almost.
It's just a bit of a hallmark of a little bit of fumbled execution. You know, it's just this late in the game where the only way to make a comeback is to play perfect. And if you make any of these small mistakes, it's just like, if anything, it's just a bit of it'll just tick you off, really, won't it? And here comes the chase. By all accounts, this should be another frag. cha1n tries to get out, but will the chase be good? Does the chase even need to happen this late on in the game? A minute and a half, and a divide like this. Who even cares about chasing? Oh!
Alright, well, he drops the totem. The peak has been eliminated. He also wanted to get the follow-up frag straight onto dahang himself, but wasn't quite allowed to claim it just yet. He has got all of the totems down, meaning the other stack is out, and also the rail damage is looking damn glorious as he connects straight onto the face of dahang, now on the roam around. He's only got 2 rockets left. He's going to use one of them to give himself the height advantage and get into the vantage point itself. Railgun ready to rumble, fast on the tail, trying to chase down dahang. He's got the opening. That's going to be the tag. A response rail comes back through, and cha1n instead opting to go for a bit of a wild play here. Oh, as he wants to cut him off ahead of the curve, and he will land the shot.
Now, the thing about this is he's getting some nice little situations, he's getting some good frags, but my eye is fixated on the camera and the timer at the top. I really just feel like he had a moment of greatness, but it's too late. This map is already over. dahang just had that snowball effect that he's always had, and yeah, it's just worked out for him, right? He can be super defensive as he wants to. We're seeing some pretty good fights here that, if this was a minute ago, then perhaps we'd be talking about the potential for a comeback, but now, no way! That's going to be a 2-0 for dahang. And once more, we're going into the third map territory to see if he can secure a 3-0 and give himself a really nice injection of points.
Yeah, there's just not a possibility there. In the end, of course, it always was going to be dahang at that point. He was so dominant throughout the early and mid-game of that one. And he walks away as the victor, 9-4, meaning he has 2-0'd the series thus far versus cha1n. There is a third and final map yet to come, though. Is there any potential? Like, is there a chance?
It's kind of hard to say at this stage because I feel like consistently dahang just kind of looks a little bit more of a one-up on cha1n consistently. Ultimately, it's just, for me again, it's just the inclusion of the crouch slide for Strog. I mean, it's not the be-all end-all, but this element of what could potentially be some new champion unfamiliarity. And I will say new champion because giving a champion like Strog a crouch slide kind of like reinvents a character. If you were to do 1v1 duel versus Strog before and after the slide, you're not approaching the matchup the same way at all. And it's just this extra layer of movement combined with the fact that dahang has unbelievable combat skill with this champion. There's always going to be this layer of unfamiliarity where it's just weird. It's something that goes against your normal senses. Maybe there hasn't been enough time for him to kind of build that, I guess, matchup experience. And if you're dahang and you've just been itching to play this champion again, and you finally got a chance to, you've now combined the excellent movement with the fact that he already had this lovely combo ability with the peek it anyway, like we saw near Mega. So I kind of feel like that was just, of all the maps they played today, that was the one that I think, dahang, like, he couldn't lose that. I think he went into that with like more knowledge, more prepared, and I can't say it surprises me at all that he won it.
No, I think that was always kind of a bit of a given for him, and just everything aligned, right, of like what he could possibly want to actually go into that with, and cha1n just didn't really deliver in terms of, actually just being able to show up with outrageous showmanship, hitting with some wild stuff. If there was any opportunity, it would have had to have just been him playing his heart out, and unfortunately, he didn't do it. He couldn't actually come through with a massive upset on that one. We do have a third and final map, though, as the decider. There's potential. It's not as if he's been missing his shots and he's been looking messy today. It's just that dahang is dahang, so it's always going to be hard.
That's what I was saying at the beginning, is that dahang has always had this level of excellence in Quake Champions, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't remember a period in Quake Champions where dahang was not like right up there as one of the best players in the business. He's always been. I think he might even be like the one single most consistent player in the entirety of this community, because he's always been at the top level of play. And this was a hard call for cha1n. And it has been a hard call for cha1n the entire time. I don't even think he's playing bad. I just think dahang is playing off the chain. No pun intended.
Well, let's see if he's going to be able to keep it up, or if things will change up right here, right now, as we're in for the final map of the day as well for the Americas of Week 5 of Quake Pro League. dahang versus cha1n. Is there going to be an upset, or will dahang walk away with all of those juicy points?
I feel like if cha1n can at least secure this map, it's better than nothing. He's in a situation now where he kind of would, I think he'd quite like to maintain his level on the leaderboards, but ultimately, if you get 3-0, you don't get any points, and not getting any points is tricky if everyone else is getting points and you're not for a week. I'm not really worried about cha1n in this position. There is a fight breaking out here by Mega, of which dahang just once more just comes off that one step better. He was near Mega, he was better positioned, he was better prepared. cha1n may have some crazy decisions and good combat skill, but I feel like dahang just has that level of preparation. He's always ready. And that first frag was another example of that, really. Here comes the heavy. dahang automatically with a level of control, having the heavy and the Mega at the same time so far.
And he missed on the rail, as he is going to spook cha1n for the meantime and cause him to reposition. So dahang already being able to gain map control, looking pretty happy with all the weapons and armor he is able to scavenge. It's going to be a bit of a rough start here for cha1n, but how do things develop once they actually get back into a bit of a kerfuffle? A nice direct dink from the rocket. He's so low. If you can finish him off with a railgun right now, it'd definitely be a way to start it.
That's actually rare footage of dahang with a bit of a rocket chop fumble there, actually. You very rarely see these happen, but LG is going to be too good anyway. cha1n, maybe a bit of an opportunistic moment to maybe get some excellent rockets and refrag, but wasn't meant to be. 2-0 for dahang right now, and he's looking to repeat what we've seen the past two maps. Yeah, goes for a bit of a funky rail angle. That was definitely a why not shot, if anything. Oh, speaking of which, hello. Stick your head out, mate. I'm going to shoot it.
2-0 already. That's a frag a minute thus far. Going to keep on adding to that tally, or potentially make it even better. The close range rail works also well for him. The lightning gun going to come out to try and cook his way through his opposition. Although cha1n delays and gets away for the meantime, realizing that he needs to try and back off and restock before he goes in for another fight here. Spots him on the chase. He's going to see his legs, but barely misses on the follow-up railgun shot.
Would have been quite a pivotal rail to hit in that situation, with cha1n having no armor for quite a significant amount of time. He obviously wouldn't have died from the shot, but how far behind he would have been an excellent fight for dahang to take afterwards. Not that he really needs it. Disengage, both players nice and weak, but with the Mega about to spawn, dahang once more is going to undo the damage. And I think the big thing that's actually separating cha1n and dahang so far, it is stack. And it's how much stack you can obtain in the middle of the fight too. In a lot of these positions, you notice that when dahang is getting caught, even now, when he's getting caught and a fight takes place, there's always health and armor to retreat to in some capacity, whereas when cha1n's getting caught, it's kind of like he has to dedicate to the stack he's on, and you know, for better or worse, we have to dedicate if it's we fight or we die. Whereas dahang, if he gets hit, hey, I'm gonna retreat to this mega because I've put myself in position for it, or heavy because I've put myself in position for it. Seems to be a running theme here, Jackie.
Well, that's the rough part as well, though, is it's like dahang has basically just had control of each and every map he's played on, to the degree where cha1n can't really do much no matter what, right? He hasn't been forced into a position where he's allowed to just gain control of some pickups, get himself back into a safe spot with his stack. Instead, he's always just been like a fish out of water. He's not allowed to get any items, he's not allowed to get anything that dahang doesn't specifically want to allow him to have. And not only that, how is he supposed to get those kills when he's just being slapped in the face at every opportunity he actually chooses to fight, because dahang just looks so precise right now.
And then it goes from bad to worse once you respawn. You know, unless you spawn near something convenient, you know, unless you spawn near one of the major pickups, or maybe a rocket launcher as a saving grace. Look how much damage he took from the turret. So much damage was dealt already, and there should be another pickup. But then when you spawn and you have no equipment, it's even harder to play from behind. You know, he noticed he's got the spawn, he's done the math, he's going to have rail now. So yeah, let's just run around and re-establish. Has cha1n even taken a single major pickup this entire time? I'm not really sure. And if he has taken it, dahang hasn't really cared. He has no reason to care. Here we go again. And he's just going to repeat this. If we're looking at the X-ray now, we've spent this entire map observing dahang. You know, we can see what he's doing. Just look at the X-ray the entire time. cha1n is spending the entirety of this map, like, not in the comfortable middle sections where, you know, you've got good movement, you've got good pickups and health and armor. He's kind of being forced into these weird little side passages where you've barely got a health bubble or two. And, I mean, how can you play comfortably when dahang is very purposefully forcing you down there?
It's so rough, though. You're just left in this awkward situation the entire time, and now when you finally do go in for a scrap, you almost get obliterated by a railgun straight away, and the lightning gun seeks to do the same thing as well. cha1n barely getting out of there as he somehow escapes with just mere drips of life.
And it's how long cha1n can play from behind. Every time there's breathing room, dahang hits a ridiculous rail, and all the work is undone. You have to do the whole thing all over again. And we're over halfway now. Comfortably over halfway, 4-0 now. dahang looking to make this a dominant 3-0. I must admit, not the result I would have expected. I really thought maybe this could be a week that cha1n could bring it to one of the best of Americas. And I think dahang, so far, is just reminding us why he's right up there. You know, he's in many ways a final boss to a lot of people.
Oh yeah, I mean the proof's in the pudding, right? Of like just how well he's been playing, how easy it's been for basically just to have complete control of the game nigh on the entire time. And again, another kill is achieved, making it 5-0 now as cha1n finally opted to fully commit on the fight. It's just not going to work out. dahang hasn't even dropped any of this stack that he's had for such a long period of time as well. cha1n nearly dead once again as he's barely alive, and that'll do it.
Turret's going to both secure information and set cha1n up to full. dahang's going to have no troubles taking that kill. And these rails have just been out of this world. And, you know, dahang's aim, I really think that dahang's kind of like reactionary aim doesn't get enough credit. I've always felt like it doesn't get enough credit. You know, when you kind of put things in, and I know he's not like the greatest aimer in the world. There are some players out there that are like walking aimbots, but when dahang needs to just look at a shot and hit it to just keep control or keep someone behind or whatever it may be, he almost always hits it, doesn't he? And yeah. I mean, it's just when these fights break out, he's such a star fragger in many ways, and it's no wonder he was like the king of 2v2.
He's just so sick at what he does. His approach to the game is just, I don't know, it's so easy, it's so methodical. It just comes so naturally to him. Finally, we have once again another bit of warfare between the two. cha1n really taking the full brunt of the damage, though. Nearly goes down, but somehow gets away with his life, but that should surely be taken away fairly quickly.
Yeah, not long until that. 8-0. dahang looking to maybe take this with 10 frags by the end, I would expect. Maybe a couple more to finish it, but by no means do I think dahang is losing this match. cha1n chases it down, finally gets one frag, but once more, he gets these moments of breathing space, and it's not much. And it's not really enough, is it? It's swiftly taken away. dahang, in many cases, that jump pad is a death sentence, but if you're as weak as cha1n was, you don't want him to come back up. You want him to stay down there. Where are you going? Go back, Eisen. I don't like you.
It's really rough stuff here. 9-1, basically 2 minutes left on the clock, not even that at this point, as time is just ticking its way through. The rails always land. He is not missing any of these rails at all. It's just simple for dahang.
Minute and a half on the clock. I mean, I'm willing to call this one a done deal, to be honest. I truly think that this has to be a 3-0 with just how things are going. And, I mean, I don't even think cha1n has the time allotted to make a comeback anymore. The amount of work he has to bring through to win this one is gargantuan. And it looks to be a 3-0 for dahang. And cha1n, he's done the best he can. Ultimately, he's been playing from behind since, you know, before we even entered this map. Like, dahang got that initial frag, and he's just kept that momentum rolling. And it's the fact that he's just controlled the middle ground. And even if cha1n thinks, all right, now's an opportunity, dahang just has that upper hand. And a big part, you know, part of it might be the champion pick as well. cha1n is exceptional on Vale, but so is Ranger. You know, just different ways. The turret is such a distraction, a thorn in the side. And dahang, he's the master of micromanagement champions. He's always has been.
Well, that's been proven right here, and just the way he's been approaching it this entire time. The final 30 seconds of ferocity now kick off. cha1n somehow even alive at this point, barely breathing, and dahang will get the flick up with the rail and remove him from the equation in the final 20 seconds of the game.
This is absolutely a done deal. You know, well played for cha1n. Thank you for coming, but unfortunately this was not his week. But it definitely was dahang's, who was just a powerhouse. An absolute powerhouse in Americas. And if he can keep up this form as he progresses both in the Pro League and, you know, once we end up reaching LAN territory, dahang is on a lot of people's radar, I think. He is one hell of a player, and he proved that once again tonight. Well done, mate.
Yep. Just vintage dahang on display, really. You know, there's not much more about it. That's just the way this man rolls, and he's proved that time and time again that he is just an absolute machine when it comes to playing Quake. You know, cha1n right now, he might just be one of these gamers that looks like they are getting better and better each time we see them, and individually you can see that that skill ceiling is there, but when you go up against a god, you can only do so well.
It's just one of those positions where even if we have up-and-coming players that are showing like immense promise, like cha1n is, there reaches a point where there are still some players that maybe you as of right now,